Hello, what is going on, dudes? My name is Litheo13, and welcome to my Litheo League challenge. The Litheo League is a Pokemon League based around Twitter and Wi-Fi battling. There are 8 gym leaders, 4 Elite Four members, and a champion. There are a total of 60 trainers striving to get all the way to the champion, and if more than one person beats the champion, you can only actually lose once to the champion, but if more than one person beats the champion, then there's a mini tournament, single elimination, to see who's the champion for that season. I am taking part in Season 5. If you lose 10 times overall throughout the entire challenge, then you lose. And you can lose a certain amount of times to a gym leader, and then you can't face them. But there's 10 gym leaders in total. You're actually able to battle 7. I may have said that there was 8. Or you have to beat 8. You have to beat 8 in order for this to count. And you get 7 Pokemon in total. Your main team and then a substitute. I technically have 8 because one of my main team is a Meowstic, and I have both a female and a male trained up, so I'm able to use both of them because it's the same species. So my team consists of the ones that you've seen in battle, which is Frostlass, Venusaur, Hydreigon, Crawdaunt, Venusaur. I think I may have said Venusaur, but let me just try this again. Frostlass, Scizor, Venusaur, Meowstic, Crawdaunt, and Hydreigon. And then my actual sub is my Electivire. So pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about this, so I'm hoping you're going to enjoy this because it was really fun to do, and I'll talk to you all later! Alright, here we are for my third match. So if you wondered at the end of the second match why that I actually didn't attack with my Caesar, it's because I predicted a switch into the Grand Bow for the Intimidate, so I went for the Swords Dance, so I would be able to kill them both. So, just in case you wondered. Anyway, this is my battle against a Steel Gym Leader, and forgot to mention that I'm only going to be voicing over the victories. So, this is a pretty cool match. Anyway, he leads out with the Skarmory, Shiny Skarmory, pretty dope. I laid out with Carl, because Carl is awesome. So immediately I go for the Fire Blast, which is going to knock him down with Sturdy. I completely forgot Skarmory's had Sturdy. So, take my Life Orb damage, and then he goes for the Rocks, which is kind of okay. It's not desired, but it's okay. Because I really have nothing that it affects super much. So I go for the Dark Pulse, and that is 6-5 meat. So, the next Pokemon he will send in after I take my Life Orb damage is Magnezone. So, I think most of his team is shiny as well. Anyway, I'm going to go with the Fire Blast, which I missed, but he ends up going for the Volt Switch, which doesn't make, I don't take that much damage anyway, so it doesn't end up being that big of a deal. He's going to end up going into this Bisharp, and I know I'm going to absolutely demolish this thing if I hit it with the Focus Blast. So he goes for the Sucker Punch, knowing that I'm going to attack. I mean, that's all I can actually do because of my Life Orb. I mean, that's because his moveset. But I missed the Focus Blast. So he goes for the Sucker Punch again, and I'm just crossing my fingers to survive, and I don't. So, this Bisharp lives another day. Anyway, and he also has the Life Orb, so he takes some of that damage. But I go into Kitty, because Kitty is like the MVP of this match. I'm just going to say that right now. But I'm going to go for the Brick Break and absolutely wreck this Bisharp. So, yeah, because Max Attack, Adamant, Expert Belt, Electivire is pretty darn good. So next he goes into this Metagross. Now, what I do here is I decided to go for the E-Quake, trying to do as much damage as I could to this thing, and I do a lot of damage. And he has the red card, which allows Kitty to stay alive. So it brings in Vex, who's going to take this Earthquake, I believe he uses. Yeah, he goes for the Earthquake, and he's good. I think Vex lives it. Yeah, he does, quite easily. So I'm just going to be able to take out this Metagross with Aqua Jet, and now it is 5-4. So, got pretty lucky. That red card actually did help me out. So, I have, now I have Vex out here, and he's bringing out his Magnezone. I don't really want to switch and have anything take damage, so I'm just going to attack this thing. He goes for the Flash Cannon, actually predicting me to switch. I don't know who he's predicting me to switch into, but doesn't matter anyway, because he was able to take the hit and faint. So, next I send out Kitty. And what he does here is he decides to sacrifice. No, he doesn't sacrifice it. I lied. That's later in the match. Never mind about that. So he sends out his Caesar to take. Actually, no, I predicted the switch. I thought he was going to go into something that was flying. So I went with the Flamethrower and just wrecked the Caesar. This is also a mixed attacking Electivire, even though they Adamant nature, because I liked it well enough that I wanted it. So, yes. He goes for the Bullet Punch just to get as much damage as he can off, which isn't enough. And one more Flamethrower is going to be able to knock out the Caesar, and I win. I don't win yet. On the bottom screen, there's still 6 turns left. I have not won. I'm an idiot. So he goes in the Magnezone. This is where he sacks it here, because I outspeed it. I'm just going to one-shot it with Earthquake, because it's 4 times weak. So, the Magnezone is gone, and I believe the score is 4-2? Yeah, maybe. So next, he goes into his Excadrill. Now, what I tried to do is to be able to weaken this thing a little bit, and I forgot that it had the air balloon. Like, the turn after it had the air balloon. I could have hit it with a Brick Break, did a lot of damage to it before I was knocked out. But Kitty did well. He knocked out half of his team, so I'm perfectly happy with that. So Perfection comes in next, and I'm going to go with the Mega Evolution, and I'm going to go with the Bullet Punch. So, Of course, I mean, that's what I always... Wait, did I go with that? I may have... I don't think I did that. Okay. He goes for the swords, which is a little bit worrying to me, but I go for the pursuit, that's right. So I'm able to do more damage rather than minus 4 times power. So this earthquake's easily gonna wreck me because of the stab and +2. So next, this is his last Pokemon. So I send in Frostlass. I have Frostlass and Meowstic, I think, left. No, Meowstic already died. I don't remember who I have left. But I go for the Destiny Bond because of the rocks, hoping it would kill me. But it uses the Rapid Spin because it predicted that. So I decided to go with the Ice Beam. And I'm like, I'm not going to kill it. But I got the crits, so I end up beating him. And that was my first victory of the league. So, yeah, pretty cool. Well, didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Alright, here we go for my second gym badge victory, or my second victory in this, in the league. So, here we go. We're up against Esquilo, the fire-type gym leader who has a doubles team. So, I'm going to lead out with Carl and Kitty, because I felt Carl and Kitty were my best bet, because Kitty had Earthquake. So, that was the whole reason he goes out first. So, the drought sets up. Oh, excuse me, yawning. So, he goes into the Charizard X. I completely forgot about this. So, this is actually a very, very short battle. But the first time, I actually did battle him once before, and I didn't bring all my Pokemon. So, he said, don't count the loss, we'll redo the battle, which I still ended up winning. But, I didn't predict it, I just went for it, and I ended up knocking out the Charizard X one-shot. But I go for the Earthquake, knowing it's not going to kill Carl, so I'm able to hit the Ninetales with the Earthquake and do a lot of damage to it. But he's going to go for the Will-O-Wisp on Kitty, which sucks, but yeah, it doesn't matter as much, because Kitty still does very, very nicely. So next, he goes out into the... God, why am I yawning so much? He goes out in the Arcanine, which is going to intimidate Carl, and now Kitty has very low attack. So, and he just subs him in and subs him out. And he goes into the microwave oven. And he double switches. And he sends in his, I believe it's his Talonflame, yes. So, I'm able to go for the Dragon Pulse, and that is going to hurt the microwave oven, the Rotom. And I go for the Earthquake because I didn't expect them to double switch. And all Pokemon on the field besides Kitty are floating. So Earthquake does absolutely nothing. And Kitty just gets burned again. So, he's going to go for the Brave Bird. God damn it, why am I yawning so much? Alright, so he goes for the Brave Bird on Carl, which does not kill. And I am able to go for the Dragon Pulse. And I'm able to kill the Rotom. So, that is... One Rotom down. Alright, it's 6-4, I believe. So, Carl takes some of his Life Orb damage, and Kitty goes for Wild Charge, and of course he has the berry that weakens it. And that was just with minus stuff, so the Waken Berry. I was right in my head, I didn't want to say this in case I wasn't. So, Kitty again gets hurt by its burn, doesn't really help. Goes into Sima. Now Kitty has like -5 attack. So it doesn't, he's not going to be doing much damage at all. So, I'm surprised they left Kitty still alive. But I have not yet lost a Pokemon in this fight so far. So Carl, and as I say that, Carl gets knocked out. But this Talonflame is going to take quite a bit of damage. And since he just sent in, he's going to go with a Flare Blitz, which is going to hit Kitty. And I did expect it to kill it. But, so now it is 4-2, I believe. Something like that. So next, I have still my Crawdaunt. And I send out Java, because I didn't really have anyone else on this team that I could send out here and be fine. Because I had Caesar, Venusaur, and... no, I didn't have Venusaur. I had Caesar and Frostlass, who couldn't do very nicely against these guys. So, the Talonflame is now dead. So, it is us versus the... shoot, what's his name? The Arcanine. So, he goes for the Flare Blitz on Java, which absolutely destroys him. Or her, excuse me. Absolutely destroys her, which sucks, but oh well. So, he's got the Firefox which is the Ninetales, and the Arcanine left. So I signed up Perfection, because my other two Pokemon besides my Crawdot are both weak to fire. I don't exactly know why he switched there, but he goes into the Typhlosion. But now I'm going to Mega Evolve. I decided to Mega Evolve and go for the Bullet Punch on the Ninetales to kill it, but since it subbed out, I'm just going to be able to go for the Bullet Punch and hit the Typhlosion. I didn't actually expect the switch. I completely forgot he had a third Pokemon, so I was just gonna expect to... yeah. But anyways, he survives that, like, somehow. And decides to go for Vex, rather than the Scizor. So, I don't really understand that, but he knocks himself out with the, what do you call it? He knocks himself out with a Flare Blitz. So, all he has is a Firefox and the Typhlosion left. I know that I'm going to be able to knock out the Ninetales with the Bullet Punch, so I go for it. And I'm expecting Scizor... no, I was expecting Crawdon to be knocked out on this turn. So I end up going for the Aqua Jet to do a lot of damage. It survives at like 1 HP. But the Flamethrower is going to kill Vex. But my Bullet Punch on Scizor is going to be able to knock it out. And it's Typhlosion versus... if he had Heat Wave, dude, he would absolutely destroy us. So, that'd be kind of funny. Alright, well there we go. That is... me beating the Fire-type Gym Leader. Alright, here is my third gym battle, my overall 5th, and my third victory. So here we go. We're against Radar, the Normal-type Gym Leader. He actually has a YouTube channel under the Radar. YouTube. I don't know if that's in it, but yeah. That's his Twitter, at Under the Radar YT. So, anyways, I'm going to lead out with Electivire, because Electivire is going to do very nicely in this, but he has the Mega Lopunny. So, which is a normal fighting type. So, he Mega Evolves the Lopunny, and I'm gonna go... God damn it, why am I yawning? I'm gonna go for the Brick Break, but that does a shoot ton of damage, and Kitty's out on the first turn, or the first 2 turns. Well, I was like, God damn it, but I'm gonna go in with Perfection here. I'm not... to be honest, really sure why, but he gets scared and is able to switch out. So, he's going to go into that Heliolisk. And what I actually did is I did not go for the Bullet Punch or the Pursuit, because I knew that would be not very effective and wouldn't do that much, and I thought he was going to wreck me. So, I decided to Mega Evolve, and I end up going... oh, I did go for the Bullet Punch. I lied. I thought I went for the Swords on this turn. But... now I know that he can't kill me even with this Heliolisk, so I think this is when I start going for Swords. Nope, I just decided to kill the Heliolisk right out. It's smart enough. It doesn't matter. Anyways, Heliolisk is down, so, it is tied at 5-5. So here is the biggest challenge on his team, is this damn Porygon. So, what I know is that it cannot... its main attack move is Tri-Attack. So he's going to go for the T-Wave here. And I know it doesn't really do that much good to keep spamming the Bullet Punches. So what I decided to do is, because all he's going to be able to do is the Tri-Attack, and it doesn't do really enough to pose as much of a threat at the moment, I'm going to start using Swords Dance. So since I start dancing up, I'm going to boost my attack higher and higher, so this Porygon is unable to attack me. So... or not unable to attack me, I'm able to wreck this thing when I decide to attack with it. So, now I'm +4 attack. I decided to go for the Bullet Punch. I know this is going to do a ton of damage, and he's going to go for the Tri-Attack again. And I believe on this next turn I may kill it. Yep. He decides to stay in. I actually predicted him switching out, so I went for the Pursuit, just to make sure I killed the thing if he did switch. But I still ended up killing the Porygon, surviving with only a little bit of HP. And at this point, I'm just going to kind of sack my Scizor. I was hoping the Quick Attack wouldn't do enough damage to kill me, and it didn't. But I got paralyzed, so I couldn't hit it with the X-Scissor and wreck it quite a bit. So Scizor kind of did its job, but she got knocked out. So that sucks. But Scizor did take down that Porygon too, which was very helpful. So next, I send in Vex, because Vex is very nice in this situation. So I know whatever he's going to send in is not going to take this attack nicely. So I actually tweeted him saying, that's a shiny Blissey, that's not very impressive. So I decided to go for the Aqua Jet, and that absolutely destroys the Blissey. So if he decides to keep it in, he just has to sack it because I'm going to outspeed it. And because of Blissey's abysmal 10 base defense, I'm able to absolutely destroy it. So next he sends in this son of a biscuit, so he goes for the Fake Out. And that it did more damage to Electivire than it did Vex, which I kind of didn't expect. So I'm getting over the Aqua Jet, which is going to do a lot of damage, but I know I'm not going to be able to kill the thing. And I'm also banded into Aqua Jet to begin with. But he gains most of the health I did back with the Drain Punch, which sucked. So I was like, God, no, this is not good. So I send in my Meowstic. Now, Meowstic is really good. Watch this. It survives the return, which I did not expect it to do. So, from full health, I didn't expect it to do that, and I'm able to kill the thing with the Psychic. I actually wasn't even paying attention to my screen while I did this battle, or on that turn. And I realized that the thing was dead, and I'm like, how did I survive? So, he decides to go into the Staraptor, which is going to knock me out with the U-turn. I was spec'd into Psychic anyway, so that I couldn't use the Thunderbolt on it. But he's going to switch out the Staraptor, and I'm able to get the best matchup I would like off of this because he decides to send in the Flopsy. So I decided to go into Coral because I don't know. I could have gone with Frostlass. That might have been a good idea. So I ended up going with the Focus Blast, and I missed. That was not a good idea for me to to even attempt the Focus Blast. So I know that he's going to go with Ice Punch again because he expected me to sack it. So I decided to end up going into Sweet Death. And since this thing outspeeds me, it's able to get 2 Ice Punches off, but I'm able to knock this thing out cleanly with an Ice Beam. So that ends up pretty nicely. So, actually I didn't knock it out, forgot about that. So, he goes for the Ice Punch again. He's obviously choice banded, because why would you continue going for the Ice Beam? But I survive with 2 HP, which is insane. So I'm able to knock this thing out, and all I have left is Coral and my Frostlass. All he has is the Staraptor left. So I am able to go for the Ice Beam and one-hit the Staraptor. I didn't actually think I was going to outspeed the Staraptor. I was very scared at what I needed to do to be able to kill this thing. So I'm able to do it, and I beat Radar, and I get my 3rd gym badge. Alright, let's try this again, Caleb, and do not hit F12, hit the actual start button on the DS to play the battle. So, our next gym battle is against Raymond, the ground-type gym leader, and, he also has a YouTube channel if you want to check it out. It's Flaming Axel, and I had to get up super early to fight him because he lives in Russia. So, here we go. Alright, so he's going to start out by leading out with the camera up, and I'm going to lead out with none other than Vex, because Vex is the best counter to his entire team. On this first turn, Aqua Jet, I don't know why he sacked his camera up right then and there. Maybe he was expecting something different, but I have no idea. But anyways, that just absolutely destroyed him. Now he sends in the Torterra. I know that Vex can do a ungodly amount of damage to this thing, but it will not kill it one shot. So send a Perfection to take the incoming superpower. I don't remember, I think I predicted the superpower, but it hurts like a mother. So he lowers his attack and defense, and he ends up switching. So, not expecting that, I went for the X Scissor. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to obviously Mega Evolve, and then I'm going to go for the X Scissor, because I was going to try to do a lot of damage to that Torterra. I didn't think it would do over half damage to me, which was insane. So, now we're up against this, I don't even remember what they're called, whatever, Hippowdon, yeah, that's what it is. And I expected him actually to switch, so I went for the Pursuit there. I would have done a lot more damage with X's, or had I, not thinking he was going to switch. So, I end up going into Vex, and right here he decides to sack his, Hippowdon. So, that's 2 down to Vex. Now I'm just waiting for... I can't speed it up. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, he's going to go to that Torterra, and I know, again, that I do not want to try fighting this Torterra because I do not want to die. But, again, suspecting the superpower, I send in my Psychic type, but he goes for the E-Quake this time. And, poor Java, she's going to get absolutely destroyed because of the crit. So, that was a bit of a waste. So, now we go into Coral, because I know Carl's going to do a lot to this guy, but he decides to withdraw the Torterra, because he knew that something was going to happen. So, he goes to MVP, which is this Swampert, and I'm going to hit that with the Fire Blast. So, Fire Blast is going to do a fairly decent amount, comparing that it's a Swamp. I don't know. It did more than I thought it was going to do, let's just say that. So, now he's going to Mega Evolve into this big motherfudger, and I believe I'm going to go with the Dragon Pulse to just do as much damage as possible. I know he's going to go for the Rain Dance because of that Swift Swim ability that Mega Swampert gets. So, I actually didn't know about this until, like, he used it, and I completely forgot. I'm like, wait, why would he use the Rain Dance? How would that help? And then I'm like, oh yeah, because of that. But since he's now has the speed boost, he's going to go for the Ice Punch and wreck Carl. So, now Carl has been knocked out, and I'm going to send in everyone's favorite Revenge Killer, Vex. So, because of the rain, I know I would have taken it out anyway, but the rain just helps, and I'm able to take out the, Swampert with the Aqua. Aqua Jet, I'm yawning so much! Alright, so I'm gonna go with the Aqua Jet to do as much damage to this thing as, it's gonna kill him, but he has the Sash. So obviously this is a lead that's supposed to set up rocks and stuff. So he just decides to go with a superpower, and that's absolutely going to wreck Vex. Like, no question, it's just, he's done. So, now that Vex is done, I'm going to send in another Pokemon, which would be Pudge. And Pudge is going to do quite a lot of damage. He's just going to do Giga Drain. I think he survived, yeah, he survives the E-Quake, and, I wonder if this guy had any Ice-type moves on the Mamoswine, because I would have probably used Ice Shard. That would have been, I think, more effective against my Venusaur. Well, I mean, it would have been, because it would have been super effective, and it is a physical move, even though it has low base power. The stab and the super effectiveness would make it quite a bit more. So now all he has left is the Nidoking and... oh, I don't even remember. But he goes for the Ice Beam on Pudge, and that does enough and I'm out. So Pudge is done, and I have Frostlass, and I don't remember who else I have left. So going into Frostlass, I use Ice Beam. I didn't think this was gonna kill it, so I'm just hoping it didn't have a priority. That's what I was hoping. But I ended up hoping, that's not even a word, but I ended up killing the Nidoking, which is awesome. The Torterra is what he had left. So I knew if I was able to get past that Nidoking, I could take out the Torterra. So I take out the Torterra, and I end up winning my fourth, or is it my fourth or third gym badge? It's something like that. But I earned it's a fourth gym badge. I earned my fourth gym badge. Alright, here we are onto my fifth gym badge against the Ghost type leader, Rune Master. So, yeah, pretty cool. We're gonna start out with this battle. So let's get it going. Now, this is a pretty quick battle. It was actually longer than the last battle, but this one was much easier. So, he sends out the Bayonet, which is obviously going to be a Mega Bayonet, and I end up going out with Vex, because Vex is awesome. So, the Frisk reveals my Choice Band. I mean, you don't really have any other kind of Crawdot but a Choice Crawdot, because it's much better. But, he's going to go with a Shadow Sneak, which is not... Oh, I'm yawning. It's not going to do very much. So what I decide to do is I decide to go for the knockoff because I have Superpower, knockoff, Crab Hammer, and Aqua Jet on my Crawdon, which is my set. So it's pretty cool. I end up one-shotting it, which is pretty awesome. Next he has the Gengar, and he's going to go with the Disable, which was a very smart move, which disables me from using knockoff in this turn. So I switch out, and I go into Perfection, I believe. Yep. So, I don't exactly know why I went to Perfection, I don't remember. But, Pursuit, that's why. So, I guess he expected me to stay in, but he knew I had the Choice Band, so I don't understand why he would expect me to stay in if I couldn't attack. But I decided to go for the Pursuit, knowing he's going to switch. I don't know why he would have switched, but I mean, I just felt like he was going to take that thing out and send in the Chandelure. So, now that I'm Mega Evolved, I get the attack boost, and this Pursuit is absolutely going to destroy it because of the also... ×2 I get from it being a Ghost type and that he was switching out. So, next he goes into the Chandelure, which I knew he was going to switch into to begin with. So that's why I went for the Pursuit. Now, I send in Vex because I know Vex can do a number to this guy. So he's going to go with a Fire Blast and hit Vex and do quite a lot of damage. And he's going to switch, obviously. Like, you don't stay in against a Crawdon. So, I don't know why here I did not go for the knockoff. I knew he was going to switch. I should have guessed that. But the adaptability means that I won't get the stab boost, the extra stab boost that I would have before. So I'm going to go for this. Okay, so I should explain adaptability if you do not know what it is while this is happening. So adaptability powers up I believe stabs super effective type moves. It's something like that. If I got that wrong, you'll see a description of it on the screen. But basically, it just lowers the power of my super effective attacks. But it doesn't matter because he's out anyway. So I go with the Shadow Ball here, and I'm able to take out the Cofagrigus. So, the next Pokemon he sends in will be the Chandelure once again. So, I know that I'm going to be able to survive the Fire Blast, obviously, because I have my Sash, which it's going to do so much damage, and I survived, I'm like, woo! But I'm gonna die in the same turn anyway because of the burn. So I'm gonna go with a Shadow Ball and do as much damage as this thing I can, and I end up almost knocking it out from full health. Frostlass is awesome. I love Frostlass. I should try Choice Specs one time. See how it goes. So I actually still have Perfection. God dang it, stop yawning. I have Perfection still. So I go for the Bullet Punch, and he's smart enough to just sacrifice the Chandelure at this point. To get a better matchup. So next he goes into Jumpluff, Jellicent. So I go for the Pursuit, and it's going to do well over half. And he's going to go for the Scald to get the burn, which he does. So it's just going to take a little bit longer to kill this thing, which I was like, gosh. And then he gets the leftover boost. Why am I yawning? I really don't know why I'm yawning so much. But I'm like, I thought Hex was going to do something other than do damage because I forgot what Hex was. So, it's able to knock out Caesar. Now, I don't remember who my last Pokemon is. I think, no, I don't have the Frostlass. Frostlass died just before. I have Carl, that too. So Carl is just going to be able to wreck his day with the Dark Pulse. And, do a number and knock out the Jellicent. So, I don't remember who his last Pokemon is. So he's going to send that in, whatever it is, here in a second. The Necro Needle. Oh, it's this guy. The Trevenant. So, I'm going to give it the Dark Pulse. It's going to do quite a bit to this thing, and I get the flinch, which you'll see in a second, which seals my victory. So I end up winning with another Dark Pulse on the next turn, and that was the 5th gym badge I won. So, pretty cool stuff. Life orb damage, yeah, that it totally matters. And I beat Rune. Okay, so if you see those videos coming to an end, and I've only won 5 badges, so here is my final battle in Season 5 of the Litheo League. So, came to a very unfortunate end. I just could not overpower Pow. He's a very, very good fighter, and he has a very good team, and I just could not overpower him. So, I decided to change up the set of Venusaur. Instead of having him be the stall set, I gave him the Mega Venusaurite. So, he'd be able to be a Mega Venusaur and withstand the fire and ice attacks better. So, immediately, I'm obviously going to make him Mega Evolve, and I'm going to make him attack the Ludicolo, because that Ludicolo is the most irritating mother fudger. So, he's obviously going to go with a Fake Out to do damage, and I'm going to start out with the Shadow Ball. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to start after this first turn, because they didn't expect the Mega this time. After this first turn, they're going to gang up on every other Pokemon but Punch. So, pretty much that's what and Sweet Death gets knocked down to her sash and burned from the friggin' Scald. It's going to do quite a bit more damage to that Politoed before it dies, but it's still going to get defeated. So, at this point, I was actually, Josh and I were discussing the strategy. I was battling him and we were talking, and he was giving me some tips and pointers, because he already has 7 badges and has only lost twice. And one of them was to this guy. and the other one was a Steel Gym, the first gym I ever beat. So, I sent in Perfection here because I know Perfection can do quite a bit of damage. He's going to go for the Scald, though. Hit Perfection, and doesn't get the burn, but Perfection's going to get knocked out by the Scald next turn, and now it's 6-4. Because all they've been doing, they don't care about that Venusaur. They've been teaming up on everything else. So I decided to go for the Toxic on the Ludicolo to help it, to wither it down a little bit more. So, and I send out Electivire, and what happens is I was hoping that the Electivire would live one attack from the Ludicolo, which it does not get the burn as well. So I'm able to hit the Ludicolo with the Thunder Wave, not Thunder Wave, Wild Charge, and I'm able to kill it. But I believe the Recoil leaves me with 1 HP, Politoed kills Kitty, and I'm also able to knock out the other guy, so, the Politoed, which is pretty cool. So yeah. Anyway, now Pudge is the only one left on the field. So I end up going into Java because of the Sharpedo. I was hoping he would bring in the Gyarados, but he brings in the Sharpedo instead, and the Tentacruel. So we know that the Sharpedo is going to use Protect, so what I end up doing is I go for the Thunderbolts on the Tentacruel, and that does a lot of damage to it. And I believe I go for the Leech Seed on it. But the Ice Beam is not going to do very much because of the Thick Fat. So I set up the Leech Seed on the Tentacruel, and yeah, so I'm going to get a little bit of health sapped away from that, the Tentacruel. It's going to give me a little HP, and it's going to wither it down very, very quickly. So, obviously he's going to Mega Evolve the Sharpedo now that he has the Speed Boost. So, I'm going to switch out Java because I want Java to be able to survive to take out that Gyarados. Now, the only thing we are scared of is that gosh dang Sharpedo. If I'm able to take that thing out, then I could come in and actually possibly win this. So, Sharpedo's going to go for the Zen Headbutt against Pudge, which is almost going to kill it, but the Ice Beam, even with the Thick Fat, is going to take out Pudge. Now, here's where the problem lies. I have 2 Pokemon left, and he has 4. Now, what's not good is the fact that, I don't even know. Whatever, so he has the Gyarados and the Sharpedo out. Now, the Sharpedo is so irritating. That's the one to deal with. That is the one we're having the most trouble with. The competitive gives me the +2, but that's not really going to help. He's going to go over the Crunch and absolutely wreck Java. So, it's basically Carl versus the world, which sucks balls. So, I go for the Focus Blast, I hit it, which is going to wreck the Sharpedo. So, he has 2 Pokemon versus Carl. I think, no, 3 Pokemon versus Carl, I'm pretty sure. Okay. But Carl lives the Ice Fang with a good amount of HP, but it lives it more than I thought it. So, okay, it is Carl versus 2 Pokemon. So, he's going over the Aqua Jet. It's not going to do that much. Well, it's going to do a decent amount, I should say. I'm going over the Dragon Pulse on the Gyarados. And it's going to do quite a lot of damage. And I almost knocked it out. So here's the thing. If I had gotten a little bit more damage on that Dragon Pulse to kill that Gyarados, then I would have won the battle. I would have gotten very, very close. It may have depended, because he would use the Aqua Jet, knock me down to 5 HP. I would have been able to attack the Feraligatr and do as much damage as I could before my Life Orb damage killed me. And even then, I don't know if I think I'd get the win for that. But it doesn't really matter. I lost 1-0, and that was the end of my Litheo League challenge. So, a little bit disappointing, but if you guys enjoyed me playing through the Litheo League, it was a very fun challenge. I just ended up losing. I almost beat Kyle, but I couldn't get past the gym leaders. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you all later.